are okay with, or maybe not so secretly, but it was just a piece promoting polygamy from the other side. Thank you.
I'm a happy trans girl. I acted in it. I'm a singer and dancer and stuff, and you see me acting and dancing in it. My father here is transgender and created it, wrote the music. It's about not just being trans, but also about being who you want to be yourself. It's about being proud of who you are. So it was inspired by my father being trans for the last many, many years, about 14 years now. My father has been transgender, but it's about being whoever you are, being and embracing it and accepting it. That I'm probably saying too much, but that video is a 3.5 minute clip of a longer video. The documentary is actually 17 minutes long, but that was a short clip. And Fran wants to say more.
Thank you, Kelly. It's actually pretty amazing to be standing here. Next to somebody who has supported me through a transition to living as a fully expressed trans woman. And I lived in secret for my whole life. Since I was about 8 years old, I used to go to bed at night and pray that I would turn into a girl by morning. But I lived my life, for most people that knew me, as a guy. And I probably went the other way, got very macho about it and stuff to prove that I was a guy. But inside, I was really female, I felt. And then two caregivers for my mother and father, who were basically dying, said to me, they saw me on Halloween dressed as a girl, and they said, "What are you doing? Why are you?" And they said, "You look too good for it just to be Halloween. And why don't you live that way all the time?" And that conversation that I had with this one caregiver, Jennifer, and made longer when I dropped her off at the bus, and she told me, "Let the bus go, I want to talk to you." And she really spoke and cleared up things that were confused in my mind for 50 or 60 years. And then what happened is I started doing, between my parents very sick and dying, I started doing stand-up comedy. I started doing a lot more art. I started writing a lot more songs, and my creativity flourished. And my daughter stood by me that whole way, because she's of the Gen Z generation, and they're naturally not prejudiced against LGBT people or black people or Hispanic people or old people or disabled people. It's just in them to be like that. So anyway, one day I hummed a song to a fellow who was doing some work cleaning up some stuff in my house, this fellow Anthony, and I said, it goes like this. Dun, 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 dun. He says, I could put a beat to that. I could put a Jamaican beat to it. And I said, when? He said, tomorrow. I said, great. And so I did that. And then after that, I got a number of other musicians. I'm a musician myself, kind of, and a songwriter, though, for many years. And that's how it happened. And then we started performing it all over the place. No matter where we went, people would say, sing the song, sing the song. And then the longest documentary has clips of comedy and other things, and then a pride parade that happened in New York City with thousands of people. And I jumped on the parade, the float, and anyway. And I'm going on talking too long.
A lot of those clips in the video are at famous places, like there was Stonewall. She performed at Stonewall, we performed at the Pride Parade, we performed at a lot of good, and one of them was in Port Judith in Rhode Island at the famous lighthouse. So there was many historical places that were represented in there.
So basically, the music video and the documentary helped us get closer together during a period of time where it was very trying, transitioning gender. And everyone, except my wife, went along with it. So it was very helpful process. So filmmaking was very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, very nice.
Thank you.
So I made my movie to talk about climate change, and in particular, the intergenerational injustice of climate change. For thousands of years, it's been a sacred compact, right? Old people take care of young people, and then young people take care of old people. And right now, that's being broken. Right now, it's the old people are not taking care of the young people. So I wanted to make a movie that was kind of shocking. Young people, old people, it's shocking and outrageous. But that's only step two. Step one is happening right now. The other part is I wanted to explore the tension between individual action and societal action. Like the lady said, we're not rich people, we're not the politicians, just the big shots, right? At the same time, it's democracy, and we're responsible for that. And everyone, you can't do everything, but we can all do one thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to explore. So thank you.
You answered my question about the music video, how it got, did the song come first and they went out and got all the performances, or we got all the performances? That's my question. Thank you, and it's very positive.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My project, my name is Vera Arno. Film Society is a little bit of a deadpan comedy. It's based on my personal experiences on the board of directors of films, the Rivertown Film Society, which is based here in Rockland and Nyack, and it's a wonderful community building organization made up of people who love the movies, not much money, but keep going. And yet it was funny, so I started taking notes and was inspired to make this film, and used a lot of, collaborated with Juliana Ruff on writing it, and my husband filmed, Roger Grange filmed it, and a lot of community theater actors and just people we knew performed in it, and 3 locations, a lot of work, but it was fun. Thank you.
So, Paragraph 65000 came about when I saw an internet thread with the question of, is Catholicism polytheistic because people pray to all these saints? And then the answer was no. Think of Catholicism more like a call center in which people contact a saint who then escalates the issue up to God. And then I thought that concept was funny, and so I wrote a 1-act stage play about it, and then Marvin saw it and then encouraged me to adapt it into a film, and then I rewrote the script to make it work, and then we worked together to turn it into a film.
That's great.
Yeah. Excellent. I didn't realize that she was in your network, but yeah, she's great. She worked so hard.
So another question in the back.
Yes, trans, yes, trans, yes, trans. In this day and age where trans identity is being weaponized and turned into a cultural war issue, this is a question for Fran. What is it like for you to have this kind of expression of trans joy?
I live it in my everyday, that I'm fully expressed, and I wasn't political about it when I first came out 12 years ago to the broader public and I went full-time, threw out all my male clothes and went full-time trans, no more cross-dressing back and forth. And so I had to make a stance. So in the beginning, I wasn't clear on what trans meant to other people. So I thought trans meant going from one gender, say male, to another gender, female. But actually, it's more like it is in the Native American community, where trans people are two-spirited people. They have both male and female living within them. And now it's thought of maybe non-binary. And so I began to more appreciate that. In the beginning, I was talking like this. I was trying to, impersonate what my crazy definition of female was. So I grew in my own identity of who I was, which was closer to who I was as a kid. You know, real and not influenced too much by what other people thought of me. And so, in the trans community, I became the spokesperson. So I would go on transgender days of remembrances, whether on Zoom or in reality. I was always asked to do motivational speaking and stuff like that, and I continue to do that. But there's one part of it that is very upsetting to me, is the relationship with my wife is a relatively good one, but we're not together as husband and wife, or as Fran and Lori. And that is tremendously upsetting. So my mission is to try to help other people through not only the dealing with the world around them, but also helping deal with the one-on-one. In the case of my daughter, it worked okay, but in the case of my wife, we're still married, but it's not like it had been. And also, I grew because I realized that she is her own person, and I need to appreciate that. And she married a man, and I'm really not a man anymore. So there's growth coming from that. And I think if people looked at these differences, whether it's trans or non-binary, I gave a talk at Iona College a couple of weeks ago. I can't tell you how many grandparents came up to me after the talk and told me that their grandkids were trans this way or that way, and needed guidance, felt that they needed guidance. So I ask one thing is for people who meet trans people or know in your own family, just have more of a listening for it, because often they're as confused as the rest of the world is. So I appreciate your question. Did that answer your
Yeah, that was
question?
great, thank you.
Thank you.